So I just want to keep the thought process going here. Cptsd. It's like your life was never really your own. What happens is you are you're relegated to being stuck in fight or flight. And that's what I've been in my whole life. Fight or flight. I'm medicated with alcohol, which worked great. But they were all copes. I mean, I've literally coped my way through life. I've done whatever I can to get through every day of my life. Every fucking day. And now that I am physically just incapable of doing what I used to be able to do, and mentally I'm incapable of being able to handle the stress, and socially I'm incapable of being around anybody right now. It's exhausting, man. I went and got in the river yesterday. I got up to my chest, spent a few minutes in the river, and I got back here because I worked for a few hours yesterday morning. I got back here and I went and jumped in the river afterwards. And I got back here and, man, I passed out. It completely passed me out. So things like that are good, because I got all this built up anxiety and emotions, and I've been digging all this stuff up, and stepping into that freezing cold water yesterday, it like shocks it out of your system. You know what I mean? So I actually have some relief today. A lot of relief, actually. After I woke up from my nap, I mean, I came here and passed out yesterday, and I slept for like 2 hours straight, and then woke up at like 6 o'clock in the evening or something. And yeah, just felt a lot better, a lot clearer. So what that did was that helped to shock, some of this shit out of my body, that I've been working through my system. So yeah, healing like an onion layer again. Right now I'm feeling good. This morning I'm laying in bed and I'm going, man, I feel awfully good. I'm like, fuck, I feel awfully good, which means, usually what I'm coming to find that means when I feel awfully good is that it means I've finished healing that part of the layer. I'm getting ready to peel back another layer and start it over again. The other thing I wanted to make note of was, damn it, I forgot. The other thing I want to make note of, was the shame and guilt. So yeah, I was getting shame and guilt yesterday too, beginning of the day. I mean, it's just so ridiculous, man, the shame and guilt. And I know exactly what to talk about because it's everything that around me is saying don't talk about, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about everything that nobody wants to talk about. Everything that everybody wants to sweep under the fucking rug, man. And again, the only reason I do this is to hope it gives other people courage to do the same and seek their own healing. I do it so that way people will quit fucking turning to outside sources for their salvation or their help or their healing and realize that they have it all within themselves to do it. Yeah. My oldest son's healing. My daughter's back up at my ex-wife's house. Her friend came and got her, I think it was Friday, and she was going to stay a day or two up there. And then she hit me up on Monday or whatever it was and said, I'm back at mom's. So, she's doing whatever she wants to do. The only person I can do anything for is myself. I can be there for my daughter when she wants help, but, I can't force her to do anything. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Some people think that they can heal and still be around their abusers. I don't know if people have done that before. I don't know if people have been able to heal and still be around their abusers and become realize themselves. I don't know. I know I wouldn't be able to. If my abuser apologized and recognized and went back and made recompense for all the damage they've done, like with all the other people that they lied to me about, then yeah, that would be different. But to just go in and have your abuser be like, it's not that bad. Come on. You know what I mean? There's no fucking way. Because I don't see how you can get healing until you recognize and admit what happened to you. You have to face it, You can't just... I don't know. Everybody has their own journey, man. That's the other thing I want to talk about is all this NPC talk and all that bullshit and people saying that there's, only a few real souls down here and all this shit, man. I don't know, man. That's so fucking horseshit to me for anybody to even attempt to say that and pass judgment on billions and trillions of people that have lived on this earth. That's fucking weird to me. And it's not right. If you again, you don't know what happens after death. You don't know. You can think, you don't know. So you can't condemn because you certainly aren't the judge of what happens after death. So my thing as far as that goes, again, I mean, just taking the girl here that I met in parenting classes, in the way that she grew up and what had happened to her and where she's at right now. I think she's a dark soul. I think it's called oppression. And the thing is anybody who has not had a hard life, especially growing up as a child, will not understand oppression. They think that, you can do whatever you want to do and da-di-da, and it's all because of you and your choices and da-di-da-da-da. No, man, oppression's completely different. Oppression is put on you. And if it's put on you as a child, then those programs, because it makes you reliant, right? It makes you extremely reliant on an outside source for right and wrong and truth and non-truth. So, some people think these shining souls are just so perfect. They're just shining souls. They're just so perfect. They do everything right. If anybody gets mad at them, it's the other person's fault. They never do anything wrong. You know what I mean? That type of person. That silly fool. Man. But yeah, the way I see it, dude, is that I think we were beautiful, pure souls born into an evil, toxic, trauma-filled environment. And ever since day one, our souls are beaten just beaten and crushed and buried. And I think you can see this in most kids. I think most kids have a heart. I think most kids have, I believe that we are a product. I believe everything that's going around. I think that everything that's going on around us is a product of our environment. It is intentional. It is put there intentionally. I think we are so fucking powerful, dude. I think we're so fucking powerful. It's unreal. It's unfucking real how powerful we are. We've been enslaved. We have been enslaved. Our souls are in this human body. Why? How did that first even happen or come about? Was it a good thing? Was it a natural, organic thing? And then something bad took over? I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. All I know is where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Everything else is speculation. Everything else is conjecture. Everything else is is whatever it is. And to even try, especially if if you were born in the western part of the world in a cushy low life, and you think that you have all, God damn. I mean, the arrogance of some people who've just lived such comfy lives is unreal to me. How they can judge from their thrones down on everybody else, especially when it comes to the afterlife. Those are the most arrogant cocksuckers in the world. The ones who judge you in the afterlife, but right now while you're alive and go, oh, no, you aren't going anywhere. You're getting recycled. You aren't going to heaven. You aren't getting out of here. You aren't going anywhere. Oh my gosh, man. The fucking nerve of some people, bud. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. But, yeah, so I think that's what happens, man. And what is going on is some people are just more sensitive to things than others. And with that sensitivity, I think a lot of those kids end up dying as abused children. They just can't take it. Their souls were just too far advanced. They were too out there and were brought into this evil fucking world, and it just crushed them, and they had to go. I mean, the scariest people are the ones like me who have made it through the muck and the shit to get here. It's like, how many fucking souls did you have to step on to get where you're at? How much evil did you have to do? How much bad did you have to propagate in this world to get here at 43 years old? Living in fight or flight your whole fucking life. So those are the things I feel bad about, man, is just knowing, prior to my healing now. And, even 10 years ago when I had that major TBI, I slowed down. I really slowed down a lot, and I started, being able to connect with my spirit. But yeah, and then, I've reached the next level with this head injury here, And I'm where I'm at now is I'm a fucking mess right now because I have opened myself up. I've broken down all my barriers. I have opened myself up completely to the world because I don't know who can view this. So I opened up myself up to the world. My intentions were for my kids and my family. That's my intention. Again, to give them the courage to speak if they've been abused, to give them the courage to speak about their own situations, to give them the courage to stand up for themselves, to give them the courage to say enough's enough, to give them the courage to say, okay, we can change this shit, to give them the courage to say, okay, let's make this life the best we can while we're here, because we're all in, we're in this together, right? We're in this together, right? Oh, yeah, through the good times, it seems. But, yeah, just things I'm thinking, man, is that anybody who tries telling you and putting condemnation on people especially if they're putting condemnation on people who have had severe trauma and severe abuse and severely fucked up lives. Those are very toxic, bad people, man. You need to stay away from them if they're passing judgment like that on people who have had issues out of their control and are trying to now heal. So my whole thing is just giving everybody who is listening an inside look to how dirty and nasty this healing is. It is not a pretty thing. It is not. You're not going to be twinkling your toes through even, you go, man, the other thing with the Cptsd thing is these fucking psychiatrists, man, psychologists, they are, most of you, if you are planning on seeing a specialist, an expert to help you heal from your childhood trauma, you better pick someone who's certified in trauma therapy, who's certified in childhood trauma, who's certified, because a regular psychologist or psychiatrist, if you go in there and say this to them, if you start this, my mom was pretty mean to me growing up, but I don't really like to talk about it very much. They're going to be like, just write it down on a piece of paper. It'll be all right. They're not going to treat it as anything. They're not going to treat it as shit. And guys, they get paid. These guys get paid off of the DSM-5 manual that they use. So Cptsd doesn't qualify for any kind of pay scale, I don't think. So they're not incentivized to diagnose Cptsd. They are majorly incentivized to diagnose bipolar. They are majorly incentivized to diagnose a bunch of these other mental health issues that I can name that you guys would know. But Cptsd, no. I don't even think PTSD. So people like me are in a bad spot, man. We've had trauma put upon us by the outside world, and the outside world refuses to recognize it. So we have to stand for ourselves, and we have to go like this to the rest of the fucking world. So if you suffer from Cptsd and people are trying to hold you down, tell you no, try to tell you what path, how you should heal, how you should do this, go like this. Get away from them immediately. Only you know how to heal from your Cptsd. There are counselors certified in trauma therapy. But I would be so extremely careful going outside myself for any kind of help or healing. You're better off. Look, if you think you need to go see a counselor, you're better off using your intuition, going through YouTube or the internet or whatever, and intuiting the correct prognosis for your diagnosis. I don't know how to say what I'm thinking right now, but you're better off just going and searching for yourself instead of paying $100 and, because these guys charge $300 an hour probably now. I mean, God knows, especially for a trauma certified counselor, they're probably in such high demand. I'm sure they're charging $300, $400 an hour right now. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And I know I can't afford it. I have no type of insurance of any kind for that kind of stuff. So, that's out of the question for me. In the amount of times you would have to go to therapy. Look how many videos I've done. What they're going to do, they're going to walk you through your childhood and bring these things out and have you face them and deal with them like I'm doing for free. Now, I'm probably doing an extremely rough job of this compared to somebody who may have, like a counselor, somebody who has walked many, many people like me through this. It's just I have major trust issues and I'm broke. So I'm very careful, and I have major problems right now. I'm at the end of my rope. So I'm doing everything I can to get along. And what I'm saying is you can intuit your healing. If you die, you die. Look, we're all going to fucking die. We're all going to fucking die. I'd rather die on my own terms, trying my own thing out, than going to these goddamn doctors. Medical malpractice is the second or third leading cause of death in America. Think about that. Let that sink in, guys. Medical malpractice is the second or third leading cause of death in America. And I'm going to say it again, medical malpractice. So when you go to a doctor and they diagnose you incorrectly, they give you wrong medications, they do the wrong operations, they do the wrong this, they do the wrong that, they do the wrong treatments. That is the second leading cause of death in America, guys. Quit going to doctors. Quit trusting these experts. These experts were telling you to put muscles on your face and it would stop you from getting a virus that was millions of times smaller that could fit through those masks. These are your experts. Your experts are just, all they're doing is they are group thinking. They are passing down dogma. They are, the words that come out of their mouth are because they are enforcing their indoctrination in their own religion, their own groupthink. They are not trying to help you. They are not, the only thing in their head is pushing their groupthink. That's it. There is no humanity in them.